Thanks for joining me today on Saturday. As we look at the scripture and see what happened the Saturday of Passion Week, we see that Jesus' body was buried on Friday, and he was in the tomb on Saturday. Saturday is a picture of the future for every one of us. Every one of us that is alive today is one day going to die. When we die, most people are going to end up in a graveyard like this. Some people will be cremated and land in another place, but all of us are going to, in one way or another, return to the ground. Our bodies will at least return to the ground. When we come to a cemetery like this, we know that this is permanent. We're not going to be alive again. And so when Jesus was alive, he said, he told them ahead of time that he was going to be resurrected from the grave. So this was a day that was really important. And the Pharisees and the leaders of the Jewish people, they said, Jesus is going to pretend to be resurrected. So we need to make sure that now that he's buried in the tomb, we need to make sure that his body is guarded. So they asked Pilate to guard the tomb. Now, Pilate had just found himself in this crazy situation where he was pressured to have Jesus put to death, where he didn't really want to, but he was afraid of a riot between the people and the Jewish leaders, and he was afraid of what was going to happen. So now that Jesus is crucified and buried in the ground, he needs to make sure Jesus stays there, and that the disciples, as the Pharisees claim, are not going to come and steal his body. So Pilate does this incredible thing. He sends his Roman soldiers, these ones that crucified Jesus, who tortured him, who nailed him to the cross. He sends them to the cemetery to make sure that Jesus' body stays there. Now, you know what? So many people argue about the resurrection. Those that don't believe in Jesus, they want his body to still be there. And that's what happens on Saturday. They want to make sure that his body stays there, so they guard the tomb with their life. Professional soldiers, their life on the line. This is their assignment. Make sure that this group of disciples, remember, the ones that ran and fled for their lives when Jesus was crucified, who were scared to be at the cross, to make sure that they didn't come and steal Jesus' body. So you can be assured of this. Jesus' resurrection is amazing. It is the most powerful thing that's ever happened in the history of the world. He went into one of these graves, but he didn't stay there. He came alive. And we know his body wasn't stolen, because special care was given to make sure that didn't happen. Go ahead and read today's story. It is from Matthew chapter 27, verse 62 through 66. And just think about the power of the resurrection. God bless you. Thanks for listening.